prove anything except for it disproves the official narrative. And if the official narrative has been...
Can I interrupt you real quick? Is this microphone better? Because I do have like an external Bluetooth speaker thing, but I don't think it's terrible. This is better? Oh shit. Anyways, you're right. It's just circular watermelon logic. I mean, all these conspiracy theories because motherfucker ain't dead. So everything is just a stupid conspiracy theory.
Well, I think that 20-year-old died.
No, I'm talking Trump. I'm saying, like, it doesn't matter. Like, that kid's dead, Trump's alive. Like, that's the official story.
Well, I think that... Sure, well, I think those are objective facts. Like, Trump is alive. And I think that the kid is literally dead. The story we've been told about his origin, whether he took the shots, who shot him, how all the shit with the Secret Service, fucking females on the deck, scene on the deck, like, they got to push. There's just way too much stuff happening for stuff to be an accident, right? Like, in the beginning, it's like the border crisis. It's like, even if you don't know what was going on, what you could say for certain is that something could not go this badly if it wasn't conventional. Not this many people could be streaming.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think is the...
What you could say about this shooting is there are so many... Dude, it's like an air crash investigation, right? They'll come up to the conclusion usually, which is, on this day, this thing which had been going wrong previously, but caused no major effect to the aircraft, happened in conjunction with this second factor, which also happened infrequently, but on its own caused no effect to the aircraft. But on this day, this third thing happened in conjunction with the second and the first simultaneously together, and it brought down the aircraft. Like, it takes like a number of things to have happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's an opera. It's a coordinated event that lasts hours and days and months.
An aircraft is usually, right, it's an accident, right? It's just like, unfortunately, the planets aligned for the wrong reasons. But with this sort of thing, it's like the closest roof with the most prime shot was unguarded. Like,
I know, when you see it from Trump's perspective, you're just like, huh, where would I get shot from? I get shot from right over there.
Like, what kind of balls does that kid have to try and mount a roof, knowing that there's going to be Secret Service, right? And why would you not assume that there's going to not be? Well, I suppose he could have watched the roof beforehand, but it's just like it didn't seem.
He was walking around in the grass with a rifle, and people were like, "Hey, that kid has a gun."
Hey, I can climb up this roof and I'll get the gun, right? With or without a fucking.
How much do you want to bet that some of the people there were like, "Oh, that's a good kid. He's got a gun. Like, he's here to, like, I bet you there was like people questioning, like, who is that kid with that gun? Like, is he here to help us, or is he here to, like?
He was wearing a casual t-shirt and like khaki shorts or whatever. He did like it would be different. It's like a landowner that I know, right, was telling me before where the gypsies, right, the pikeys, right, they literally just brass necked it, right? They put on high vis vests, came in with like a fucking new it's like a Sprinter van with like a fairly expensive trailer, and they spent a couple days just lifting this abandoned railroad track, and everyone just assumed because they were wearing high vis and they got like, it wasn't like cheap clapped out, fucking vehicles, that they were legitimately there for a real purpose and like just literally hiding in plain sight. If that guy had a tactical vest on, right, and somehow had some head covering or was carrying a rifle and looked like he knew what he was doing with it, people just might assume that he's law enforcement, right? But he was just some dipshit kid with a fucking YouTuber's merch t-shirt on
How much do you want? How much do you want to bet they're gonna make a movie about his life? I fucking guarantee it.
Or they have to. And it'll be on Netflix. And it'll be complete propaganda.
Did you ever see this movie with this kid? It's called The Mask. He's like a retard. He's got a fucked up, ugly face, and he's with Cher. It's like a true story. What I'm saying is they're gonna make a movie about. It's gonna be called like The Mask 3. The Michael Crooks Trump assassin movie.
My favorite sort of example of this is, all most people think that, but it's U5 Denver. Do you ever remember that with Matthew McConaughey?
The submarine?
Yeah. Right?
That boat, that submarine, that Nazi ship is here in Chicago in the museum. It's huge. It's unbelievable.
But the Americans portrayed this fucking movie like they captured the fucking enigma. They solved this fucking thing. They successfully, cracked the code and saved, World War II. Like that's if you just go along with the movie and the narrative, right? But if you sit and watch the credits, it literally shows HMS blah, like five other or whatever, 6 other times before then, an enigma was captured by the British, and then they captured one at the very end, right? But they fucking make this movie out to be like, if you just like, they don't tell you explicitly one way or the other, but they present it as if and let you believe that they were the pivotal ones, right? So people watch U571, and then in their heads, the Americans captured the enigma, because there's no fucking British film with the enigma, right? Or it's like Zero Dark 30, right, about the raid on Osama bin Laden. Who the fuck knows what actually happened in reality? But that movie is just what people remember, right? That's now the narrative has been set. And so when they make a movie about an event, a controversial event, especially after the fact, like, I always think it's like a whitewash. Right? They're trying to set the narrative.
Did you ever see the Imitation Game?
Yes.
I don't have to do it.
Why? I don't remember much about it, but I have seen it.
About how Fletcher Parker, Alan Turing made a, what was the foundation of being modern computer. This was crazy,
Yeah, but are you pointing out to the false narrative?
No, I'm just saying,
Okay.
in relation to yours, that's what you brought up. You were saying, are there any other films like that? And I thought, the Imitation Game.
Well, I meant, no, I didn't mean about the enigma. I meant in where they're like presenting something that's not entirely true, but is somewhat true, right? Like, let me see if I can get this on U5.
I just looked it up. I'm looking up top 10 movies of the year 2000. It's actually a lot of really good movies. I mean, X-Men came out that year, scary movie. But you would think that in terms of like the years 2000 being such a significant number, that like, the cult or like insanity would have been unleashed, at least in the theater. There's some good movies. Memento, Boiler Room. This was like technically probably peak America. Like, it's gotta be. Everything pre 9/11 was like gravy.
Dude, I think personally, it's my philosophy. You can take it or leave it. But to me, movies, it's all been downhill since 2007. They stopped making great films like American Gangster in 2007. Dude, even the first Transformers film was actually pretty awesome. Everyone since then has been trash. Like, there is a couple of exceptions to the rule for sure, but for the most part, every film since 2007 has been underwhelming. So maybe it peaked before that, right? Like, maybe it's 2004 or 5.
Well, I think the big downfall is the CGI. All the CGI films are all downgrades. But with the new CGI stuff coming out, I realized today you will be able to create your own movies, your own pictures. Like, the media of the future is your command prompts, basically.
Yeah, someone made like a fake trailer for Napoleon or something, and it looked awesome, right? And it was like, I didn't realize what I was watching to begin with, but like, kind of hope that someone would just beat that. It's fine.
I have this book. It's called The Book of Fate. It's by Napoleon, but it's a gag. It was like a British advice book to like English ladies, and somebody reskinned the cover and called it Napoleon's Book of Fate, and it became like a very popular book in Europe. And I bought like an antique copy of it, but I wasted. Anyways, my point is that it's kind of funny that somebody trolled Napoleon and made like a very popular book on wisdom, but it was like it was like a tea book or a coffee table book for British women. It's you could Google it. It's kind of an interesting story.
Like here's another good example. Like I previously was a big fan of like Ridley and Tony Scott. God rest his soul. You know, amazing filmmakers. But dude, look at this shit with Gladiator 2. Gladiator was one of the greatest films of all time, in my opinion. Right? It's right up there. It's without a doubt in the top 50. You know, you can determine whether or not it's in the top 25 films of all time. But it's one of the greatest films. And this fucking new one with like rap music and all sorts in the fucking trailer. You know, it's just like I'll never watch that film ever. Like, it's just
Well, when you say Gladiator is like, top 10, top 50, whatever, if you go back to like America in the 50s and 60s, they were like obsessed with Roman movies. And so there's like Ben-Hur, there's Marcus Aurelius. I don't know if you've ever seen the Marcus Aurelius movie, but that's technically the Russell Crowe's, emperor. He's supposed to be the wise philosopher king, but they made a whole movie about him. And that movie is epic. But all those movies are epic because this was all post World War II, and the stage sets, the set design and all that stuff, you could never ever build that shit nowadays because it would cost hundreds of millions of dollars. It's impossible to do that stuff. But what I'm saying is those movies that America put out and Britain put out a small percentage compared to the amount that Hollywood mass produced. But those movies can never ever be duplicated. All those people are dead. All those movies are legacy. Oh, Marshall's here. Marshall, can you please come up and tell everybody that I'm a troll and then get me kicked from the room, Marshall?
I mean, you were, so I have no problem saying what's true.
Oh, good for you. Okay, do you want to tell everybody what I said about the tuna fish cans and inflation, you fucking fake Republican? You're the worst Republican I know, and you're not Republican, Marshall. I'm officially denouncing you and kicking you out of the American Republican Party. You are no longer to be considered a Republican. You're a Democrat. You're a Democrat, Marshall.
Person who does that, so
You're finished. You're out. You're no longer Republican. I'm writing the GOP, and I'm going to have them denounce you, and we're going to drum you out, and we're going to turn our backs on you. We're turning our backs on you. We're drumming you out, and we're saying goodbye. You're no longer considered a Republican. Henceforth, Marshall Rankin is no longer considered a Republican. You're done. You're out. You're finished, Marshall. You're kibbutz. You're finished. Your tuchus is in the garbage. You're no longer a Republican.
it's not that fucking hard. Just don't do it.
You are all witnesses to the Republican Party kicking Marshall Rankin out of their party. He's no longer to be considered a Republican.
Except it's not happening because you have no power.
I just made it happen. With my voice to God's ears, may the universe cast Marshall Rankin forever out of the Republican Party. Forever!
That's not happening, so you're just gonna have to get used to it.
Come on here, Joe. I'm scrolling IMDb top 250.
Everyone here is a witness. Their ears and their brains cast a shadow upon your fake Republican values. You little disgusting Democrat little rat.
Stop being an ass, it's not hard. Just don't do it.
You're asking the animal to not be an animal.
It's up to you.
He's just gonna be whatever he's.
Listen, I know you guys are kinsmen. You guys look like the same gingers who came out of, some leprechaun cunt. But Marshall, you're not a Republican.
And Edmund, you have no official position in the Republican Party, so you're...
That's bullshit. That's not true. My voice is Republican.
You just doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
You know, you're irrelevant. You're irrelevant. You go knock on people's doors, and you say, "Hi, I'm Marshall Rankin. I'm the West Texas boy from the Rio Grande. I'm the GOP chair. I'd like you to vote for Donald Trump." But you don't even tell people to vote for Donald Trump. You hate Donald Trump. You're gonna vote Kamala Harris. You're a fucking Democrat. You fucking Stugat. Stop presenting yourself as a Republican.
I am a Republican.
Okay, are you gonna vote? Are you gonna do anything politically for Donald Trump? Can you endorse Donald Trump right now, please?
Dude, I'm not working on Donald Trump's demo.
There you go. He's business all the time. He's business all the time. This guy is if you can't buy him off, you can't get the man's vote.
President in the other offices, as you would know from losing your own election.
Go grind your teeth down and keep taking Adderall. Don't touch your toes or go to the gym, and don't vote Trump, Marshall. You're not a Republican. I casted you out 5 minutes ago. You're finished. You're no longer in the GOP. You're out. You're done. You're a Democrat. We renounce you. We excommunicate you. We turn our backs on you. We walk away from you. We don't want to hear from you. Don't call us. We'll call you.
Yeah, dude, you don't have a leadership position. You're not in the party. Like, the last time.
My voice is my party, and I represent the republic for which it stands. I take the Constitution in my right hand. I take the Declaration of Independence in my left hand. I unite them, and I shoot a light of power into your tuchus, and I cast you out of the Republican Party henceforth forever. May the universe be my witness.
Well, this has been loads of fun, Mr. Edmund. Thank you for being irrelevant. Talk to you later.
Goodbye, Democrat.
That was very nice.
What do you mean? That's gonna be the funniest clip I created all day long. I thought that was hilarious.
No, he called you irrelevant.
Who cares what Marshall Rankin's opinion means a lot less than my opinion of myself. Don't you understand basic philosophy?
Some of it.
Marshall Rankin is just a negative person, okay? He's fully vaccinated, triple boosted. You know, he's on an expiration clock. My long-term horizon is much greater than his. Everybody is on a very shortened lifespan if you're vaccinated.
Okay, I'm looking at this. I decided to ask ChatGPT to give me all the films in the IMDb 250 made after 2007. And there's actually, I'm surprised how much, there's 55 films out of the 250, so what I'm saying is, well then again, I would have to agree with these films, which a lot of them I don't.
You agree with the top 10 on their list.
Do I agree that they should be in the top 10, or that they should be in the top 250? Like, what are you asking?
Yeah, would you recommend the top 10 on their list of 250?
No. Shawshank Redemption is a good movie. Is it the greatest movie of all time? No. Don't ask me.
Yeah, but you would recommend the movie though, right?
For Shawshank Redemption, sure. Would you recommend to watch The Godfather? Yeah. Would you recommend The Dark Knight? Yeah. Would I recommend The Godfather Part 2? I'm not sure. Would I recommend in 5th place 12 Angry Men? Don't know, I've never watched it. Would I recommend in 6th place Schindler's List? No fucking way. Would I recommend The Lord of the Rings? Watch one time? Sure. Pulp Fiction is number 8. Wow, that's, yeah, 100%. Lord of the Rings.
What do you think about Mark Wahlberg and his like never-ending Instagram Christian Catholic posts of like putting fucking ashes on his head, doing the crucifix, you know, the etsky petsky? What is with Mark Wahlberg? I mean, I met Jenny McCarthy and Mark's brother at Gibson's in downtown Chicago, and let me tell you, fucking Jenny McCarthy is fucking fine as fuck. But my point is, what is wrong with Mark Wahlberg? Like, why doesn't he just, like, I think he's neurotic. He's neurotic.
Isn't everyone in Hollywood? Amazing. No, the most amazing one to me in this list that's actually inside of, is it the top 50? Yeah, it's inside the top 50, which I want to rewatch. Because someone was posting a scene from that film.
Do you know how many views Britney Spears gets on Instagram?
In the top 50, is American History X. I don't actually want to rewatch it. But I'm meant to be watching Blood Diamond tonight, but that's going to be limited.
I watched that in a class, an ethics class once, and I fainted.
American History X?
Yeah, I just realized how violent it was going to be. Yeah.
Well, there's that Morgan scene, which is like,
I know, which is terrifying.
that's...
That one scene.
Wow, yeah, it's just...
T-Ross, when you watch Blood Diamond, why don't you try to count how many cigarettes Leonardo smokes?
Okay. Is this like take a drink every time you get a cigarette?
Nah, don't do that. You'll get passed out. And early. Because I haven't seen it in a while, but I know he's a chain smoker.
No, the two films I want to watch are Blood Diamond and Body of Lies, which are very...
Have you ever seen Ben-Hur with Charlton Heston?
No.
Oh my God, that was like the first.
Long time ago.
That was the first movie I ever shed a tear. I started crying when Jesus healed his mother and his sister of leprosy. I was like, oh my God, I started crying.
Person he's been trying to quit for a long time has been using the big.
Are you more of a fan of these classics then?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I've seen everything. I told my dad one time, I was like, Dad, you fucked me up. I was like, why did you raise me at Blockbuster? You should have raised me at the library. He's like, fuck. He was like, fuck you. I want my money back.
Have you watched Bleach on the River Kwai?
Yo, yeah, many times, many times. Great movie. What's his name?
Just an aesthetic of that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
What's that guy's name? Holden, William Holden. Yeah, that guy's legit. That was fucking great American actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, I mean, see, everything great comes out of World War II. Everything, all the media, because there was great stability, and the commercialization of videos became the technology of the future, and Hollywood, that was the biggest export in the whole world. And then you had the whole VHS, then this DVD, and now we have the streaming. And AMC theater, like, when was the last time anybody wanted to go sit in a stinky, dirty fucking theater with a bunch of fucking trash? I mean, I guess theaters are still great. They're probably better than watching it at home, but the point is, all the movies suck. So why do you want to go to the theater? I would see Dune 2. I saw some of the, it looks fucking great. I would see Dune 2 in the theater.
There's only certain films which, to justify a big screen experience. But I saw on Twitter just the other day, I hope this becomes like normal, like I might not, like in a bar, like there's these like virtual golf bars you go to, where basically you just play virtual golf and get drunk. You know what I'm talking about? It's not even like Top Golf. I mean, it's in like a city center where you just play against the screen, right? There was this video that did the rounds the other day where, so this is a place in Los Angeles. I'm gonna push this post at the top, but basically it's kind of
52L. 52L.
Spans wider than 180 degrees, and you're like, it's like courtside seats, right? In a soccer game, you're like front row to watch the football match, and it's so high definition, and the full width or whatever, it actually kind of gives you the experience of like you're there in the stands. Like if there was, I'd maybe go to a bar and watch more sporting events and things like that, or I know when I go to the cinema, you can drink alcohol. You can drink alcohol in the cinema in Portugal. That's like you can have a beer instead of Coke. It's a very European thing. Would you just go to the cinema more? Do they serve alcohol in cinemas in America? I don't think so.
Yeah, they have restaurant movie theaters pretty much in every major city now.
But this bar, this LA bar thing with this huge screen, like that looks. I'm not a soccer fan.
That's legit. That's
Is
legit.
that you can hear that?
Yeah, that'd be dope. Like me and sports, like
We'll watch the from the other side of the page. Like so, essentially, it's a changing scene or something. Right? If you can't,
movie theaters have to reinvent themselves.